Go Blue. Just want to start out with that. Go Blue. Uh, Welcome to episode 11 of the biggest, belliest Pats, Big Belly Pats. Of course, I'm here again. Unfortunately, your boy Nick, aka Go Blue. You see what I got on. For those that can't see, it's an official jersey. Uh, and we have Mr. Moxton, and also in his, is there like a neon yellow, a neon green?
It's a yellow. It's a neon yellow. Correct.
Okay, neon yellow. Arsenal just got a dub, so we out here rapping today. How you doing? How you doing, good sir?
I'm good, thank you, sir. Just to give you a heads up, everyone who's watching and listening, I put this shirt on. Now, I listen to Nick. So hold. Let me just give a 5-second brief background here. Because he says he's the introduction, go Blaze, and blah blah blah. So, first of all, let's put it this way. Nick, did you go to Michigan University? All right,
No.
okay, cool. Because I wasn't born in London. All right, so that's fair. So you didn't go to the university now, and I wasn't born in London. So that's fair. There we go. Tick. So in August, I went to go watch Arsenal, and I went to an Arsenal stadium tour, and it was one of my bucket dreams, and loved it every minute. It was everything I imagined and dreamed of. I've been a gunner for almost 30 years, and I bought the kit. I bought the home kit and the away kit. I haven't got the third alternative kit yet. That's my Christmas present to myself. And I see Nick before the game. So obviously Nick didn't see this particular shirt yet, and in person. But I posted all over Instagram and WeChat when I was in London. Now, I'm a big guy, 140 kg, 6'1" monster, bro. And I'm in London posing with a big Ben with this bright yellow shirt on. And I'm not the type of supporter that, and Nick, you'll grade me on this, but if Arsenal lose, I say Arsenal lost. If Arsenal win, I say Arsenal win. Maybe the win is a bit louder than usual, but that's okay. He then says, "Oh, did you just get this shirt because Arsenal won against Luton Town?" I mean,
Y'all got
why is that hate?
y'all got like 6 different jerseys. Y'all get like new ones every year.
Yeah,
It's hard. So it's hard to keep up. And let's also say Daniel has, how many jerseys in total do you have?
I'm gonna lie, probably about 60, 70 shirts.
60, 70 jerseys.
That's Arsenal shirts alone.
60 to 70 Arsenal?
Yeah.
Daniel, I'm not doing this with you. I'm not doing this with you. I have 2 Michigan jerseys.
To be fair, you just went and before recording, you just ran and put it on and came and sat down. You weren't wearing this in the beginning. I just want to point that out. You were like, I came dressed to impress. You were like, ooh, let me go put mine on. So yes, I do have a jersey problem. I'm sorry. I have about 70 Arsenal shirts. I have about
You need to work on your addictions, man.
25 NFL shirts.
That's madness.
2 baseball shirts. I have a few rugby jerseys, probably about 10 rugby jerseys.
Madness.
Maybe 12. So yes, I think I'm hitting over the hundreds sports jerseys. So that's why I'm single. I'm just kidding. There's other reasons. We should edit this part out.
Oh, this man.
But how's your week, boss? How's your week?
My week has been solid, man. Today I did some overtime at work. But week has been solid. We what did I do this past weekend? Outside of,
didn't you just come back from a nice little trip somewhere?
I'm tripping, see? I went to Amsterdam. Went to Amsterdam this past weekend. We stayed 3 nights, 3 or 4 nights. I think 3 nights. Don't quote me on that. But and we had a ball, man. Outside of it being cold, the outside of it being cold and a bit expensive, it was expensive. We walked everywhere.
Yeah,
It's just
bet.
I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan. But Amsterdam made me put a pep in my step because you don't have to really worry. Stuttering. You don't have to worry about the cars. It's the bikes. And when I say, I just want you to picture a lot of bicycles, right? Just picture a lot of bicycles. And then now triple that. Okay. And then once you've tripled that, double that, and now we're in Amsterdam. Okay. It's it's a lot of bikes. If they're not on them, they're everywhere, dude. Bikes everywhere. So bike traffic is a real thing because their streets are so narrow, so many canals and stuff. The cars that there's a lot of cars still, a lot of small cars though. No one's whipping around an F-150 anywhere. But uh, but I love it, man. But you gotta watch out, dude. These people and these bikes is unreal. The whole time we was there, didn't see one person fall. You see little kids on bikes, all the way up to like the elderly. And it's cold. It's like some places are like cobblestone. Some I think one day kind of like rain, snowed a little bit. These people are still on bikes. Still no. I know their faces are cold. Uh, we seen people on bikes. It's snowing outside. Guy just riding on a bike with his hands in his pockets, just chugging along. We seen a girl carrying a Christmas tree on her bike, and then
Man,
another
it's so like
guy
China. It's
and
really
another
nice.
guy was like carrying a bike while on a bike. Um, the bike scene is outrageous. It's one of those cities where I could not move to and get a bike. A lot of people have like those electric bikes now because I feel like the way that their bike traffic is, it's smooth, it's moving. You can't at our age, man, you can't get on that bike, get on that bike path, road or whatever, and start second guessing yourself. Do they get pissed?
Yeah, I'm
You
done. I
gotta
can't. Sorry, Amsterdam off my list.
I feel
We
it's
have
a
to
great
stick to
city
that.
to visit. Stay off the bike paths, and I'm telling you, as a tourist, this at least from what I've read, do not rent a bike because a lot of the places that rent them to tourists, at least from our hotel, they're like mountain bikes, but all the bikes on the road are like road bikes, like those narrow wheels,
Like those
curved
really thin ones.
handlebars, huh?
Like those really, really thin tires.
Yeah, yeah, really thin tires. Um, and everybody's on them, and it's one of those if you go, you're a tourist, you're walking, you're looking at stuff, you're buying stuff, stopping at this shop, stopping at that shop. But the normal people, they're going to work, coming from work, going to school, going to wherever. They're getting from A to B. So it just if you just really get on these bikes and you not that and of course I know how to ride a bike, but if you're not riding them like that in the road, just walk, man. Everything's close. Just walk. And
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But we had a good one, man. We had a ball. We went to the red light district, watched the sex show. That was interesting. Um,
Okay. Fair enough.
and
Fair enough.
yeah,
Something
that
to do
was.
in Amsterdam.
I mean, I feel like that's one thing you should do. I won't talk about it too much, but I recommend if you go to Amsterdam, it was like €60, which I heard the prices went up. But that's for you get one drink and it's like a constant rotation of like acts going on stage to do different sexual things. Sometimes they bring people on stage and you can stay in there for as long as you want. So we did that and Frank House ate some Stroop waffles, which were banging.
I saw your
Dude.
posts with just waffles, dude. Thanks for
Oh,
keeping me some waffles. I appreciate it. Maybe you can
oh
set some.
man. Some places where like you go to the clubs and late night you leave, you need something to eat. In China, you'd go to like those little pop up ramen shops or something, right?
Yeah.
Or you are like in some cities for the listeners, you might go to McDonald's or Taco Bell or something like that. Um, Amsterdam has dessert shops that are open to like 3 a.m. I
See, that's my
that's
place, man.
that's dangerous, man. That's
Yeah,
dangerous.
that's diabetes and falling off bikes.
That
Crazy.
is
I will
that is
die in Amsterdam.
that is dangerous, man. I remember one night we had a stroopwafel. I had like this New York cheesecake stroopwafel. We leave as we're going to the hotel, and the hotel is probably like a 20-minute walk from the stroopwafel to the hotel. In between that, I stopped and got some churros and some pancake balls.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like your style.
And then I think when we got to the hotel, I ate another pack of stroopwafels.
Good job. you lived the life of the tourist.
I did exactly what I planned on doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did that. Recommend Amsterdam. If you for the people listening, if you go, I recommend going and within the next 5 to 10 years. Sounds weird to say that, but they have tourist tax. So a lot of the locals don't want the tourist because the tourist area is in like downtown Amsterdam, but it's like I said, it's narrow streets, so it gets crowded very easily. So there's a petition to move the red light district by the towards the airport area, which is in the sticks compared to the city, and they have a cap now on like Airbnbs in city center. They can't move the museums, of course, but there are like a lot of locals, like people only come for the red light district, so let's move it towards the airport. That and there's a city, there's a tourist tax, this was new to me. When we got our hotel, which I paid for in advance, let's just say for shits and giggles, the hotel was €100 a night. But then, and I've already paid this up front. But then as we're leaving, they're like, "Oh, you owe €60." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And there's a tourist tax just for being a tourist in a hotel. The hotels charge like up to 6% extra that you have to pay after for like tourist city tax. And then I was told in 2024 that's going up to 12%.
Damn. Okay.
So pretty much you pay 100 a night when you get your check or you get your at the end. That 100 is 112, but I didn't know
Damn.
about. So it just adds up. They're trying to get rid of a lot of the tourist stuff. So I would say within the next 10 years, Amsterdam isn't going to be too tourist friendly. I'd imagine. Um, but did that
Thanks for the
and
heads up there.
did that and Sunday played football. Man, went to the football practice with the Wirral Vikings.
Nice. And how is flag going, sir?
Flag is going good, man. It's going solid. I like it. The dudes are cool. They're all NFL fans of random teams. Hung out with them to go watch some games. Ate some wings. My first wings in China. I said China. My first wings in the UK, which weren't bad, but they're small compared to US wings, like winglets.
Were they seasoned this time?
They were sauced. They were covered in sauce, and the sauce was good. So it was good, but they were just small. Um, But yeah, did that, man. It's a solid team. I won't be able to practice again until January due to next because they practice on Sundays. Next Sunday, my cousin Corey, I don't know if he listens to these or not, he's coming. The next Sunday, your boy Daniel is coming. And then it's Christmas Eve, and then it's New Year's Eve. So yeah, I won't be back out there until to the new year.
I need this break, man. I need this break.
I just need some more black people here.
Okay, well, I can't help you with that. I can help you with the expat part of being a foreigner. I can't help you with that part. I'm sorry. But man, I just want to shout out to all the teachers out there. Man, you know, this last 2-3 weeks coming up to the festive season, man, this is one job that is not for the weak. No. I mean,
no matter what country.
Teachers need more respect, man. Oh my god. No matter what country, no matter where you are, if you're in a classroom with these munchkins, whatever age, from whatever age, oh man, you know, I tell stories of what my kids do, and you're like, I wouldn't think of that. And obviously, times have changed. But man, just a quick shout out to all the teachers. Some of you are going on festive holidays soon. Just hang in there, like me. Our guest from the last week, Miss Olivia. She's also a teacher. We teach at the same school. I mean, she's been through quite a bit with most of her students. Man, has it just been a grind recently. It's just been, and with most teaching jobs, you don't just teach. You have other administration jobs. I mean, I've got like three other responsibilities in the school besides being the actual teacher, homeroom teacher. But yeah, man, shout out to the teachers as we get to this holiday break. I am literally crawling to next week Friday. I'm crawling. I'm just crawling. I'll get there. And then on Sunday, I'm on a plane to the UK.
Let's get it, man. I'm still I want to get a board game session in one of the days you're here.
Of course.
But I think all of my games are like, for the most part, 2-player. So that's when I message you about I might get a game on Facebook Marketplace before you get here.
Yes. Well, God's is up for grabs. So I mean,
are you bringing it?
I will do my best. I'll do my best with all your junk in my bag. I've packed this bag, and half this bag has Nick's clothes, Nick's presents, Lucy's present, Lucy's nephew and niece's presents, my mom's presents, my cousin's present, my cousin's fiance's presents. My bag is half full. I haven't even packed a pair of underpants in there. So, and I'm even thinking, and I've been thinking, and I'm like, Nick's left his big winter jacket. Nick has this big, giant, beige winter jacket. He left with me, and he was like, oh, bring it. And I was like, I'll bring it. And he's forgotten about it. And I was thinking to myself, Nick, do you mind? I'm asking him, do you mind if I wear your jacket for the trip? Because, in Shenyang, China, it's already minus a million degrees here, so we're freezing everything off. And I was like, let me save some space instead of bringing my jacket and Nick's jacket. Let me wear Nick's jacket on my trip. Nick's like, what jacket? Oh, I didn't think you'd ever bring that. I was like, what type of friend do you think I am? Of course I'm bringing a jacket. You asked me to. Now, can I wear your jacket so I can save space?
Yeah, you can wear the jacket, man. I did forget about it. But you can wear the jacket, bro. You can wear it, and if it's too much, you don't even need to bring the jacket.
Well, no, because my jacket that I normally wear is this big, bulky thing. So I'm trying to get, I know yours is a little bit less bulky than mine. So I'm trying to travel as light as possible on myself so that I can put other things in. But we should be fine. I'll get there. I'll get there with all this luggage. So don't worry. You'll all get your presents. That's why I said God's is a big if. So I'll chuck it in there, see how much everything weighs.
Yeah.
We will come over.
Yeah, if you didn't bring it, I couldn't find it on Facebook Market, but I found this Harry Potter Hogwarts battle game that I've played with Candrew and Don before. That was pretty solid. Okay. And cool. I was looking at Villainous, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get Villainous.
Which one though?
See that?
Disney or Marvel?
So which one is good? Which one is the better one? And even with 2 players, it's even good.
I think I gotta admit though, I think Disney's the better one because it's more original.
I think Disney.
The villains are a lot more complex, and there's what's really great about villainous Disney is that you got I think Jafar. Jafar is really, really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then, am I right saying Jafar's from Aladdin?
Yeah, the bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah, the bad guy. And then Scar. Scar from Lion King. And who's John King or King John?
King John.
One of the Disney movies. Sorry, Disney fans, you're going to probably slate me. King John is probably the easiest villain to play. So Scar and King John is pretty easy. But then you got more complex characters. So people beginning to play is quite easy. And then you buy more complex characters. And I think, I've got the Marvel one here. And the Marvel one's good. it's good. It's got some good characters.
The only thing about Marvel is, and I've played this with my cousin back home. Shout out to Devontae. He Me and him have played a lot of. When I was back home after leaving China, I usually hung out at his house and we would just kick it. And we bought a lot of board games you can play mostly two players with. And we had Villainous 2 player, but we had Marvel. But we had to make rules because some of the 2 player on Marvel, I don't think the mechanics are good. And
Yeah.
then you can't play with Thanos at all.
Yeah, and like I think Loki, you can appear in other people's spaces, and so yeah,
Yeah,
Marvel becomes more complex. It becomes more like multiplayer dimension, basically. Like
yeah.
Disney pretty much keeps it to itself. Your own villain, you play your own game,
Mm-hmm.
but Marvel, you need to like kind of interact and everything.
Right, right. So yeah, but I need to get some games in with Dan, man, when he gets here. So I'm looking forward to it.
Indeed, nice.
Um,
So we're gonna try something different on our podcast. I think we've shied away from this a little bit because we're trying to reach out to a particular audience,
mm-hmm,
and the audience are expats.
mm-hmm,
But there's also some things that we're also passionate about,
mm-hmm.
and I think we both, as you can see, we're both wearing yellow for some odd
I'm not
reason.
wearing yellow.
Because again,
I'm not wearing yellow. I'm wearing maize. There's a difference.
all right, for all the guys out there, he's wearing yellow, and for the
Maize.
ladies, he's wearing
The
maize.
color is maize
All
and
right.
blue, navy
So,
blue.
all right. Okay. So, for all the viewers and listeners, he's not wearing a blue shirt. He's wearing a yellow shirt with a blue one. All right. And he said, "Go Blues," which is Michigan and the
The
Wolverines.
disrespect.
It's a college football team. So, when we say college football team, for the people who don't know sports, I know a few teachers that say, "Yes, sports." So, college football is American football played at a university level. And this past weekend, there was some nonsense going on with all the ranking systems. I
Mm.
know Michigan was number one,
Mm-hmm.
number two was Washington,
Mm-hmm.
number three was Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and the big problem came in was who was going to get number four. Was it going to be Alabama or was it going to be Florida State?
Mm-hmm.
Now, America loves to confuse things. They don't like to have one umbrella of one thing like, hey, this is all the colleges.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's impossible because you have like 45,000 colleges
Mm-hmm.
and you can't all be in the same league or speak the same rules.
Dway.
But it's so confusing. Like we have 10 universities in South Africa. I could be wrong, completely wrong. But like the Varsity Cup has got like 10, 12 teams. I could still be wrong. But it's pretty simple. The best play the best. And I don't understand what happened. Florida State had an unbeaten season.
Mm-hmm.
They went 13-0. Their quarterback apparently got injured. See, I did my research.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
hashtag
Okay.
Daniel Rocks.
Okay.
And the commissioner said that Alabama goes through because they beat the better team, Georgia, if it's said it incorrectly. And they get fourth place, and because they came from a better conference or a better league, a better area, and they played better opposition, and also Florida State wouldn't stand a chance to play or be fourth ranked because their quarterback got injured. Now that I've spewed all this nonsense out, Nick's gonna tell me exactly what's up right now.
So the headline is the SEC pays the college football playoff committee to keep one of their teams in the top. That's
Okay, and that was
that's my conspiracy theory
Alabama
fact.
and Georgia.
Yeah. So my issue is, and I've been arguing with people about this for about the past couple of days. Of course, Michigan is number one. We enter, go blue. You see the jersey. So I ain't worried about that. The thing was, so first, okay, Georgia has been number one since the beginning of the
For a
season,
long time.
since preseason poll. Actually, since
Okay.
like midway through last season up until this past week, they were number one. Held it down. No one was touching them. They go to the SEC, and they've already beat Bama. Georgia and Bama being the SEC championship. Georgia loses, hasn't lost in like 35 games, or whatever. Loses to Bama by 3 points, but loses. Now, my first thing is if anyone should have had that fourth spot, it should be Georgia. Then I get because Bama was number 7, I think, 6 or 7, and Georgia's number 1.
Okay.
Bama, number 7 or whatever, beat Georgia number 1. So I get some people might say, well, Bama should be ahead of Georgia. Yeah, I get that. But they only lost by 3 points. They've been number 1 the whole season and a half. I figured they should have got that fourth spot because they just been bought. To go from 1 to like now they're like 7 or 8 is just madness. If you only got 1 loss by 3 points, that's just madness to me. So so they should have had that fourth spot. But Florida State should have got it. And people are saying, oh, well, their strength of schedule isn't that good, and their starting quarterback got hurt. I hear that. To me, that's bullshit. Because
they were unbeaten.
They're still unbeaten. They're still unbeaten. And people are like, yeah, well, their strength of schedule wasn't good. Outside of the teams that they scheduled, you still have to play everyone in your conference every year. You have to do that. And they're in the ACC, which is more so a basketball conference. That's when it's like Duke and North Carolina or stuff, kind of like that. But it's still a Power 5. And Power 5 means there's 5 conferences, so 5 divisions, 5 groups that are like the top 5 in the nation. You have SEC, which is usually like always number 1. That's like Georgia, Bama, Florida, all that. SEC, you have Big Ten, that's Michigan, Ohio State. You have Pac-12, which was like Washington, which not going off on that tangent, but they will not be a conference, I think, next year or 2 years. And then you have ACC, which is Florida State, Clemson, who has won championships recently, and Florida State when they was with Jameis Winston. And you have Big 12, and that's what Texas is in. Well, I think Texas might be SEC this year, actually. No, they're not. Big 12. So anyway, you have Power 5. Florida State is a Power 5 conference team. They still went undefeated. And the whole strength of schedule thing, I think that's just, to me, that's just bullshit. That's just a cop-out. Because strength of schedule doesn't matter. They still beat everyone in their conference. They still went undefeated.
Yeah. So besides that fact, the fact is that you put someone in front of me, I've beaten them. And that's sports. There's going to be days where you play easier and harder opponents.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, the team pitches up, the team won. Now, you said there's Big 5, the Big 5 conferences.
Mm-hmm.
How does the college commission people think, oh, we have 5 big conferences, we're going to have 4 spots?
So
why don't you have an extra playoff between 4 and 5?
So
what's the problem with earning a bit of more money from TV saying, or an extra game in the year calendar saying, hold on, we have 5 big conferences. Top of those conferences or winning those championships, whatever it is, if you win your conference, you get a shot at the title. The way your schedule is, this is how we're going to rank you.
Mm-hmm.
4 and 5, you play for a last past. You play for the shot at the number 1 team.
So
simple.
They've
wouldn't that help?
Well, they don't choose the best team from each conference. It's solely based off of your rankings in general. So like because they rank them to the top 25. That's ideally you get a number, and in the top 25, which obviously moves up and down every week due to wins and losses, that's everyone. Okay. That's all Power 5, even the other conferences that are not Power 5, like small, like Big East. If you're still balling, you balling. So you still get in the top 25. There's been multiple years where the top 4 would be Alabama and Georgia. Like those are 2 SEC teams. So yeah, but the four team playoff that started maybe, and don't quote me, but I think within like the last 5 to 7 years that's been going on. Because before that, it was In college football, you play all season. You try to get in that top 25. Once you're in the top 25, obviously trying the better you do, the better opponents you play. You move up and down, and then you have bowl games and
Yeah, like the Sugar
the
Bowl and the
Sugar Bowl
Rose
and the
Bowl.
Rose Bowl and all that. So before this whole four playoff thing, it was this year the national championship was between the number one team and the number two team at the Rose Bowl, and boom, that was it. Or at the Sugar Bowl or the Peach Bowl, whatever they wanted to do it that year. They made this four playoff committee because unless you are one or two, you would never have like a shot. And some teams, like there's a team called Liberty who went undefeated as well, but they're like number 20 something because it's a really small team. So they don't really play against the big dog teams. They still went undefeated.
Okay.
So, so they didn't get ranked high. So obviously they wouldn't play for a championship. So obviously trying to get into the top four. And so they just started the top four thing, and it's been pretty much run by Alabama, Georgia, Clemson a few years, and I think LSU think got two of them. So that's pretty much what it been. They just made it four, and it's one plays against four in a certain bowl game, two plays against three, and then whoever wins plays in the national championship. I think in like Atlanta or Houston or something like that.
All right.
But Florida State should have been in because even though their starting quarterback got hurt, to me, for your quarterback, you still went undefeated. If your starting quarterback was that much of an issue, and you still went undefeated, and people are like, yeah, well, they played horrible offense against the University of Louisville, but their defense wins championships. Louisville has been a high-powered offense all season, and then they kept them to I think 0 points. I want to say maybe like 6. Like that, your defense is like picking up that load. So, and it's just Bama already has one loss to Texas, and I'm just like, and the excuse is their strength of schedule. You can't control what the other team is going to be like that year, because you can play in a league and everybody in your team everybody's balling this season, and you go undefeated. You had a hard schedule. But if you play against those same teams the next year and they're all trash, and you say, "Oh man, you had an easy schedule," I play pretty much the same teams. I can't control who they recruit and who they play with. Exactly. I don't control. I could have had a trash season this season, but I didn't. And it's just so many. They're the first Power 5 team to go undefeated and not make it into like the championship. And it's just
so obviously there's something smelly. There's something fishy and smelly.
My thing is because the SEC is always numero uno, and they're not going to admit it. I feel like they can't leave the SEC out. To have a playoff without the SEC team in it, they can't do it. That's why my conspiracy theory is the playoff committee is that they're in the SEC's pocket. The SEC is like, hey, you got to put one of us in there, or it's going to be some trouble. And they like, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. That's what it is to me.
How many backs?
How many backs? Some people were like, oh, it's because Michigan didn't want to play Bama. It's not that. Bama's still a solid team, which also going off of that, Bama, people are acting like, oh man, y'all don't want to play against Bama. Bama has struggled most of this season. They barely beat Auburn, had to beat them on like a game-winning touchdown. Almost lost to Arkansas. Didn't score to like the second half. They only scored twice against South Florida. Barely beat A&M. When I say barely, they beat all the teams by like 3 points. And lost to Texas. So it's not like, oh, this is Bama beating everybody by 30 points. Nah, this is Bama that's like scraping by. So...
So when are we going to watch Michigan thrash Alabama? When's that happening?
January something. It's at the Rose Bowl. January something. I forgot the date. January like 4th, I think.
You got to wait this long?
Because there's a lot of bowl games. So it's pretty much going to be on a day where only they play to get TV views, money. Because it's a lot of fanfare goes into it. It's bowl games just I think the first one might be like a week or two, but it's a lot of bowl games.
I've watched college football. I don't know much about it.
Uh,
I've been following Michigan Blues because this gentleman, fine gentleman over here, just that's all he talks about. So that's all his social media is about as well. So yeah, I've been following it, and yeah, those games are packed. It's bigger than like the
100,000
stereotype.
people in our stadium.
It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. There's as a South African that's predominantly supported rugby all his life, I have thoroughly enjoyed getting to learn American football the way I have learned it. Because I can tell you now, there's a lot of people from South Africa that think rugby is more superior than American football, and I can tell you now it's not. And I don't say that I don't, and I'm not going to say on this podcast that rugby is better or American football is better. I'm just saying I'm glad I get to watch two awesome sports.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more passionate about the rugby teams because that's my growing up. But I dominate all the Americans on.
Oh God, here we go. Here we go. I was waiting till we got to this.
Just to put it out there, guys, all the viewers and listeners, we have a Keepers League that's going to hopefully turn into a Dynasty League. This is like fantasy football, so it's like make believe for everyone that goes sports. So it's make believe. It's based on real life players' performances on the day. So if a player does really well, you get more points per player, and it works on a draft system. So. And there's two divisions. There's two divisions, and it's funny. It's hilarious because the two divisions, the East and the West division, there's 12 of us, and there's 6 splits. And the top of the East and the top of the West are 2 homegrown Saffers, 2 South Africans on top, and we are about to get our bye weekends. Yes, please. Just have to say that because it's okay, it's all right. We're beating them at their own game.
I played you this past week.
I did put you to the sword.
This when I seen it, and I was like, and because I'm on the cusp. So Daniel is the leading of the East, and our friend Louis is leading the West. Them two are already we're doing a 16 playoff, but we're doing the top 3 of each division. So Daniel's already in on the West, and Don is already in. That next spot is up for grabs on the West between me, DJ, and Alex. Whoever wins this week can get in. But I'm playing against the number 1 guy on the East.
And already the prediction just looks Louis is about to smash him. I'm afraid of Louis. I don't want to see Louis. I don't want to see Louis. I'll just be like, Louis, you can have the money.
I was like, yeah. But on the East, they're on the East. I don't know if you looked. Justin is in second place.
Yeah, there's no winning. There's no winning season.
There's no winning season. But Justin,
besides Louis,
Justin is in like second place.
With 5
He's 5 and 8.
I believe 5.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
When we drafted, Justin was at a bachelor party. Okay? Justin was at a bachelor party. His whole team has been auto-drafted. That's why on his team, he has like 3 defensive players. You only need 1. No one ever has that many. It's just not good. He has beat me this season.
He's beaten me.
Here's the thing.
I
messaged him today, and I said, yo, I said, somehow, somewhere, you're about to get in these playoffs. He tells me, oh, that's crazy, man. I was looking at it the first 2 weeks, and then I gave up. It was like 15 weeks ago. 15 weeks ago, I was like, if this man wins this whole championship by not even getting on the app for the whole season, I'm just gonna start doing that. I'm gonna just pay my money. Y'all gonna be like, Nick, the draft started. That's cool. I don't even want to care. I only want to see who's on it. Just let me know when I win the championship at the end. I was like, yo, Like he don't make no subs, nothing. I'm like, God. And then when I played you, man, I just looked and then I saw Tyreek Hill, I saw Tua. Cause you got Tua too, don't you?
Yeah, no. I got Kyler Murray, but he wasn't too hot.
Kyler Murray. You had somebody else.
I have Christian McCaffrey.
There you go. So whenever I see Hill and McCaffrey, they both starting, I'm like, because Tyreek Hill, he gonna give you at least 25, 30. I was like,
I did spank
you didn't. Okay, you didn't spank me. You just defeated me.
Hold on, you didn't even get to 100, mate.
Do you want to continue this podcast? We can stop it after. We can wait till after the Super Bowl. This could be the end of the season. Then we can be like, all right, next season after the Super Bowl, we'll be back. Okay. But in my 3 leagues, so this league I'm fighting for a last spot to get in. My other league that I'm in, I'm top of the league, which is weird. One league. So here's the thing. I'm in 3 leagues. One league, I'm top of the league, balling. Same platform. This league I'm in with Daniel, I'm fighting for scraps, trying to get in. My other league, I am 3 wins and 10 losses. The next guy who's closest to me has 5 wins, and we only have a week left, so I can't even touch him.
So my 3 leagues, I'm in playoffs, all of them. I'm first, second, and third. So number 1 in one league.
I need to. I was talking to someone because usually I've been playing fantasy for a while, and usually when I'm getting close to drafts, you know, some guys like get online, look at who's running, try to do like mock drafts and doing all of this and this and this to prepare for the draft, seeing who's going to be good this year, who looked good in preseason or practice, whatever. I feel like you don't do none of that.
I do kind of. What do you think I've been doing? Drafting all these and trading all these
I think Daniel just looks at whoever's the best available and just runs with it.
The proof's in the pudding,
I'm not even
baby.
upset about it. Because after this season, I'm like, yo, I think next season I'm just going to not even try to get on like the NFL website to see what's going on. I'm going to just be like, okay, I need a running back. Who's the best one available? Boom.
Like I have rookies. Like, I think his name Achan, the Devon Achan.
Yeah.
Achan, the running back from Miami. I traded for him. I really wanted him. And Dal, sorry. Dal,
yeah, he just got hurt, broke his leg.
He was balling. He just got hurt. Yeah. So, yeah, he's got surgery on his ankle.
Yeah.
So, like, but that was a rookie. So, those 2 rookies I've drafted. Well, not drafted, but I traded for. I traded for those 2 rookies. I wanted those 2 rookies for next season. You know, so I understand the concept of keepers league.
Still, it's bullshit. And I'm tired of this.
Well, you could have asked me. I could have dropped some players this weekend, and we could have cheated a bit, and you could have had a win if you just asked me. I would have done for you. Imagine the scenes. Imagine the scenes on that group, on the messages. I would be phoned.
Yeah, you would have.
Never speak to these people. Never speak to these people. Would have been bring, 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 bring. It'd be like,
you would have got a knock at your door. Because some of them know where you live at. At least one of them would have knocked on your door.
Yeah. well, no, Don's through, so he wouldn't have mind.
Oh, okay.
Or he does. He would. But the other couple of them would be like, knock, hey. Fine, hey. You put your bench back on. Put your bench back on.
So, yeah, I am in our league. Me, DJ, and Alex are fighting to get this last spot.
Big weekend, baby.
It's a big weekend.
I think I'm against DJ.
You are? I need you to get that dub. Oh, and Daniel has already won the regular season 200 quad.
Yeah.
So
I'm holding everyone's money, so I'll just keep it. Just keeping it. I'm
So
the
even
bank.
though we have a week left, and in the event that Louis does beat me, he would his let's say Daniel loses and Louis wins. They would have the matching tying best record. But in their head to head matchup, Daniel has already beaten Louis. So
Did I? I'm surprised. I remember.
yeah, you one of Louis' losses is to you. So Daniel has already wrapped up the regular season best record champion. Such bullshit, man. I'm just throwing money away.
Oh my god.
Anyways, man. So we heard about your teaching. Your today you had some 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 hiccups.
Some challenges, as any teacher would know.
Yeah.
And I think this is coming to
What do you?
our expat
Yeah.
corner. Calling it the expat
So I
corner.
was gonna.
Lounging with the expat.
So I was gonna ask you because when I was teaching, I taught kids. When I was with First Leap, I taught kids from 3 up until maybe about 12. 10 between 10 I think about 10 or 11 actually. 10 or 11. But they were still all within the same concept. When I came to Richardson, I was teaching how old were those kids in Maple? 5 to 6. How is it for you? Like what's a big shift for you for someone who's going to either go from a kindergarten abroad to a how old are your kids now?
My kids currently are 10.
Okay.
10 years old.
So like but you teach at a not a predominantly Chinese school. It's like an international school, right?
No. Yeah, I teach international.
So how has that shift been from let's just say how's the shift been from teaching at a Chinese school to a of course you still have Chinese students, but like an international school in China?
Well, first of all, I actually don't have Chinese students. I have Chinese-born students, but they have international
Oh.
students because some of their parents are
Okay.
international. So I work at an international school. So for about 3 years, I was at a kindergarten, and I put at a Chinese kindergarten. With it's, I think in China, with so much of its culture, it believes everything is about face
Right.
value, and it's such a powerful thing in this country. It really, really is, and it resonates into the schools. And it's about looking good, looking presentable, doing it by the book. This is what the book says.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. Let's do it like this. And I think teaching in China is it's a wonderful opportunity. It's if you do it for a year, if you do it for 2, if you do it for as many years as you can. I think I said in a previous episode I was petrified teaching kindergarten, but the change in the teaching at an international school, being in a school with so many different cultures, so many different backgrounds, different views, teachers, and this is where I would love to, one day have a conversation with a teacher that's, when I say a local teacher in a local school, that's, like if we spoke to an American teacher in America or a British teacher in Britain or a Spanish teacher in Spanish, just to really talk about how how they think. Because in China, it's about image and it's about look what we are doing at school. It's about showing that. And I think what's so nice about the international school, we still do this, but we really do also focus on what the kids need and what the kids want. And I think it's so powerful. I think the biggest difference between teaching 6-year-olds and 5-year-olds to teaching 10-year-olds is the change in. I'm probably going to use the wrong word and get chirped for this, but the level of intelligence and maturity changes. You deal with a lot more emotions. So Johnny hurt me. Cry. That's kindergarten, and you can deal with that. That's quite an easy thing. And I'm not saying kindergarten teachers that's like one of the hardest jobs in the world. But I think like when 10s, 11s, and 12s, you start dealing with emotional changes within the child, within the
Yeah.
student. So it becomes like you don't know what you're
Yeah,
doing
because
today.
that puberty's
You
kicking in.
discipline one kid, yeah, but I love it because you have conversations. You can have conversations with the kids. I'm very fortunate. I've had some amazing students at this international school, and I love it. I love my job. It's. I mean, you're never gonna have the perfect day every day, and like today, you get home and you're like, I'm a teacher. You'll be okay. Just have a good day.
You got to give yourself that pep talk.
Settle. Yeah, you do. And I think and I think the biggest thing for me is that it's so different. Like, everyone is different. Everyone has so many different discipline ways, And it's crazy. But, like, it's so cool at the same time. One thing could be for me, it's something that I spoke to Olivia as well, and we agree. Caps and hoodies, in the cafeteria, in the classroom. There's like a little fuse in my head going, take off the cap,
But
please. For the
they do that. They do that with in your class too.
Well, yes, no. So my kids have. I say, okay, if you're in my class, no hats, no caps, no hoodies. But in the older kids, so with Olivia's kids, they move a lot around the school, and so she's not with her kids all the time like I am. Like, I'm an elementary teacher, she's a secondary teacher, so I see my kids most of the time, most of the day. So discipline is really honed in on me, and I can keep track. Her kids are all over at different times and different stages, so you've got to support the discipline.
Oh,
She's teaching science, one kid's are in math. She's teaching math or literacy, the other kids are here. So you got to kind of assist. And man, some of them are like in intensive English classes, and they have caps on, and they're sitting there like. And the one thing that a lot of us teachers think, the respect that some Chinese teachers have from students, so the students' respect for the Chinese teacher is not the same as what they'll have for the foreign teacher, and that like irks me. It really like drives me insane, because like I warn my kids. I was like, your art teacher is the same as me. Your music teacher is the same as me. What you do in music, what you do in art, I expect the same
right.
discipline, But again, cultural differences, and some teachers don't mind caps. I'm just like, just take off the cap. And when I walk past, I kind of like it. I might get like a little bit of like shady remarks on this, but I like being the disciplinarian, like walking down the halls, and you got the older kids, especially the older kids, because not everyone realizes a 12-year-old and a 13-year-old is a mentor for a
Right.
10-year-old. My 10-year-old look up and say, that 12-year-old is
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
I can do that. And then Mr. Daniel has to deal with
Yeah.
my discipline issue. So when the 12-year-olds see me, and I just stare at them, they go, and they take their hat off, and they put it behind their back, or at the cafeteria, they're messing around, and they catch my death stare, because they're messing around in the cafeteria, playing with each other's food. What do my 10-year-olds do? What do the 11-year-olds do? They play with their food. So you've got to discipline all fronts. So, and again, discipline is not one teacher doing it. It's a teamwork. It's a team job. And sometimes that's the amazing thing. It's like trying to maneuver your way around this cultural maze. Just this amazing, crazy, like some days I'm going home and I'm just like, what happened? And other days could be like the best day, and I mean, you and I think we had similar, not the same, I mean, completely different worlds, but similar experiences at school, based on a lot of our stuff revolved around sport and our group of friends, so I think most of our lives were on the sports field
Right.
with our friends. I don't remember what I did in grade 9 math class. I could tell you when I played under 15
Right.
rugby and we beat a team, I can remember those things and remember those moments. And not everyone sees the same way as I do. So especially in China, when school sport is not a thing. It's really a very difficult thing, especially where I am up in the north here. So yeah, teaching in China is culturally challenging, but the amount of stuff you learn, the amount of experiences you get,
Patience.
I mean, there's oh, we talk about it after school. It's like I've lost all my patience, and then like I like moan about taxi drivers. Be like, yeah, another taxi that's smells of smoke, and oh yay, the seats not. It's like I have to like pass to push it forward, and I've lost all my patience for the poor taxi driver that has to pick me up after
Right.
school. Because you've spent it all on your lovely children. But but like we've been saying, like the culture aspect, it's like when you move abroad, there are so many things thrown at you. And I think, like, just your normal living thing, I think from living normally, like the way I'm set up now and the way we do life here, that's probably the easiest part of my day. It sounds weird. I don't understand Chinese to save my life, and I've been here for 4 years, but I navigate my way through this place pretty easy now. I just went and played frisbee, met up with one or two people that could speak English a little bit, played with them, played on their team, had some frisbee, came home, showered, ordered some food. My life continues. And then your bigger challenges come in when you're dealing with so many different cultures. Now, it's not dealing with just Chinese teachers, it's dealing with American teachers, dealing with British teachers, dealing with French teachers, German teachers. So it's just incredible to see the different backgrounds and the experiences of people that bring. And sometimes meetings can get really like you can get encouraged by a meeting 1 week, and then the next meeting you're just like, oh my gosh, what's going on here, guys? Can we wrap it up a little bit? But yeah, so not to bore anyone with that, but I think if you for anyone that's thinking of coming abroad anywhere, just you you've got to leave the culture that you have at work at the door. So when you leave, when I left South Africa, I didn't really enjoy the work culture that I was in South Africa, besides one or two people that I'm still friends with today. But I didn't enjoy the work culture. I didn't enjoy the business side of things. So for me, it was like I'm I'm done with that life. But if you're a teacher coming to China, I first of all have no idea what your home country's like, but you got to leave it at the door.
Big facts.
You got to leave. You got to leave. You got to leave what you know at the door.
The,
Not saying what you know about teaching. Bring that, please. Yeah, bring that. But your cultural understanding of how you do it at your school, how your principal does it, or how your director does it, ain't going to be the same when you step into
right.
school here. And I think that's like the biggest takeaway. It's just like, wow, learned, boom. Like, I've worked 1 year at this international school, and then the principal changed. The dynamics of the school is completely different, good and bad at the same time. You know, there's some great things. There's some like, moments. Like, sorry, what? Like you, and then like last year they were like, different moments. You're like, that's cool. That's weird. So for me, for the first 2 years, you're like navigating two different people that you've worked with, basically, and changing teachers and I'm going to touch wood when I say this. This will hopefully be my first year of teaching without COVID,
Yeah.
and it has been a crazy start of the year. It has been like I'm not used to working all this, and it sounds weird, but I'm like I haven't had a week off from a case scare somewhere. Can we have an online session for a while so we can not see each other in person? But yeah, like and like I said in the beginning, shout out to all the teachers. You guys are amazing. What you do for students is,
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's the best job in the world. We don't get enough credit where it's due.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to all them educators, wherever you are. If you are teaching a 3-year-old, teaching a 40-year-old, whoever you are,
Big,
thank you. Thank you,
big
thank
shout
you.
out, man. The my only thing with that is that for the teachers that do decide to go abroad, it's like Daniel said, you're just gonna have to be open. A lot of the things that you're bringing, just you might have to twist and tweak, be a bit more flexible, because the biggest thing that when I first came here, things that would annoy me or question, I'm like, why are they doing that? Quickly, I figured out this person, the way they grew up their life, the way this whole situation that I'm in, this building, everything about this is completely opposite to everything that I've ever known growing up. So you can't come in here
Exactly.
with you all need to do this. Like obviously you can still suggest things to make things run smoother. They're always open for improvement, or tell you like, oh, it's not a good idea, or whatever. But you can't come in complaining or expecting the world to bend at your will. You have to be
Yeah.
open, no matter the country or where you go. Honestly, even if you're like in the U.S. or South Africa or wherever you are, you go to the next city. City's gonna be different, you know. So I've especially because, like I said, we started teaching all this through COVID, but you have to be open. There's going to be things that it's like, why do they do this? This is not smart. And then it's just they've been doing this for 300 years. Roll with it. Just roll with it. They're not going to mess with your money,
Yeah.
because I've seen that the people who can't get on board with stuff like that, either A, don't last long in another country, or B, they job hunt. And Daniel can also attest to this. We know people that came to China. It was teaching for. I know a person that was taught for like maybe 2 months, sent home, couldn't crack it. And I know people. We both know people that have been in China for 4 years, and they've taught at about 6 schools. So it, yeah, man, it's
Amen.
just, and a lot of that outside of like the school might be crap or some finance or business stuff that I think we've talked about prior. Some of that is on the person. Uh,
Mm.
Not said any names, but I did work with a person, and Daniel knows what I'm talking about, where I'm just every day in meetings, I'm like, how do you work here? How? Like, I've talked to this person, and it's just,
Yeah.
how? And then within asking that question, the next month they were gone. So,
Yeah. It is. It is. And it's like, yeah, it's a challenge, but again, if you're looking to come here for the
yeah,
experience.
the
Don't
experience
come
is second to
to
none.
you're coming here
Mm-hmm.
for the experience. You're coming here to
I said the
exactly.
experience is second to none. Um, and then coming from at least an American standpoint, teachers, unless you're tenured, don't really get a lot of, not I wouldn't say respect. It's a bit respect, um, but like admiration. They don't really hold you to that high of a pedestal. As long as I've been teaching in the U.S. When I was in China, if you're a teacher, like that's still like obviously not like a doctor or something, but you're teaching. You get kids usually respect you, families respect you, parents respect you.
Yeah.
I've never really had too many issues with parents. If I'm like, hey, Johnny might need help with this, or I've had parents come to me, oh, he's not doing good. What can I do? Granted, it's different. It's a different language, so they'll
Yeah.
tell the other teacher who didn't come and tell me. And yeah, you get put on a higher bit of a pedestal. So I say you are under a bit of a scope more. Kids do.
Mm.
Kids go home and tell their parents everything. Um, Parents do look and they pay attention. The school's paying attention. Not, and that's not to put any fear in anyone's heart, but it's just the biggest thing to me is if you go into a profession, just have common sense and just don't be an asshole. And I think you can make it pretty far.
Yep. You summed it up perfectly.
If you have common sense,
It's been lacking. It's been lacking in the world for a bit lately,
yeah,
but that's
yeah.
All right, let's do a quick 5 minute TV show recommendation. You
Squid
guys speak
Game.
first. Give us your
Right
top
now,
two
I'm
shows
watching
of the
Squid
week.
Game, The Challenge. If you've watched Squid Game like everyone else in the world, when COVID was happening, there was nothing else to watch, and we all completed Netflix. Squid Game was a dope show. They now have The Challenge, which is the real people. This is today, the 7th of December. Final episode comes out. They're down to 3 people. It's juicy. Ooh, it's juicy. There's a lot of backstabbing. It's a lot of obviously they don't
Okay.
die in real life, but they get eliminated quickly. As soon as you get attached to a character, you're like, okay, he's doing good or she's doing good. Next episode, 307, you are eliminated. Damn. All right. Well, so
I watched the first 10 minutes of this and I was just like, why are they
that
falling
is
over like this?
cringe.
Why
That
don't
is
they just
cringe.
fall
There's a couple times that they just like
I
they
was like,
fall and
what are
die.
you doing? Oh
Sometimes
my
you'll see them,
God.
they get popped and they go, damn. They'll just lay down.
Yeah, I was just like, come on.
There's
man,
one
just
episode.
move on.
There's
So
one
I stopped watching
episode where they do the little cookie thing and they're licking the cookie, trying to cut the little cookie piece out. Of course, with people who are dying, quote unquote, in there, they're like laying down while other people are still working. And there's this one scene where the camera's on some guy that's like trying to get the cookie out, but you see a girl in the back who's already died, and she just kind of just laying there on her side, with, like her head is propped up, like in her hand. She's just chilling, just waiting for everybody else. So
See, I
So
stopped
it is a
watching.
bit cringe. I will say the first episode is probably the most cringe. However, stay with it. It's juicy. So I'm watching that. And any other TV show I'm watching, Lucy got me on some shows. I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. It's like a British reality jungle celebrity show. And I'm trying to think and I'm almost finished with Attack on Titan. Solid anime. And Invincible. I've been keeping up with Invincible. Invincible's mad, dude. This dude.
Don't tell me, I'm waiting for Olivia. She's been.
Oh, okay. I ain't gonna say nothing.
We watched the first episode and I'm like,
Y'all only watched the first episode?
I'm busy. Yeah, okay, alright, don't give me so much frick about it. I'm trying. Jeez. I can sit and watch it. She's like,
I think episode 5 is about to come out. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
So what shows you got for me?
Alright, so my shout out is The Watchmen. No, sorry. Scratch that. The Railman. It's a documentary. It's a adaptation of the documentary on Bhopal in India. The big explosion there.
Yeah.
With really, really good series. Like the voiceover was a bit difficult to manage at times, voiceover language. But wow, good series. It's a short documentary, very short. 3 or 4 episodes if I'm not mistaken. Action packed. Really, really good. Very, very emotional aspect to it. Pretty cool. I watched Reacher.
I couldn't get into it.
Difficult. See, I enjoy those. Those series where it's like, it's what was the one that was the other one? Tom.
Oh.
The other one? Jack
Yeah.
Jack Ryan. Jack Ryan was good. There was about 3 or 4 seasons. Reacher's good. I'm waiting for season 2 to come out. I enjoy it. I don't know if you started Pantheon. We recently finished
Second season?
Second season's out. Second season was
Okay.
insane,
Don't spoil it.
mind-blowing,
Don't spoil it.
incredible. Until the last 2 episodes, we were like, huh? Why did you... You know when those series go for like 11 seasons and that last one should have never happened? You know, certain seasons. This was it. But midway through the season, they should have just stopped at one of the episodes and left the other 2 in the books where they wrote them. Why did they publish those? It's phenomenal. It was like you were on the edge of your seat until the last 2 episodes. You're like, why did you do this to me? You've kept me doing this the whole time. But, yes, TV shows, Pantheon, and the Railman, the Bhopal documentary.
Okay.
Really, really good.
I'm about to check them out. Yeah, Pantheon, don't spoil it for me. It's on my list. I'm working on it. I've already seen first season, but second season, I'm working on it. Side note, have you ever seen the show Atlanta?
Atlanta. You made me watch 1 or 2 episodes.
Oh,
when we were at your
you watched the one
house.
with that lady who was chasing that dude in the wheelchair.
Yeah. You've. I haven't got to it yet, but you have spoken
I
things
so,
about Atlanta.
it's
So
done. The show is done, but I highly recommend. Even started from the beginning, Daniel, you will love this show. It's a great show.
yeah,
I think it's 4 seasons. Amazing. Every episode is solid, man. Every episode is solid. So I recommend it.
good.
Uh, Before we get out of here, you got any dad jokes? I got a few.
I do, sir.
I got a few. You know,
Cal.
I've been stretching. Oh,
when we're live, when we together, we need to do like a little dad joke challenge again.
okay.
We did last Christmas.
We'll get my cousin Corey's gonna be here, so we'll try to get him on. He's got some Thailand expat tips, so that might be a bit crazy. But all right.
All right, I've got two.
I think I got like a few. Are you ready? All right.
I'm good. You go.
All right,
You go.
let's
We
go.
can alternate.
So,
Punches, yeah.
where do head lice go to pray?
So
Head lice. Where do head lice go to pray? At the temple.
See, I'm getting good at this. I'm getting good. I'm becoming.
Oh,
Laugh.
that was
Why
a
are you
good
laughing
one,
like
boy. It was
that?
a knee slapper.
Jeez.
All right, let me hear yours.
Why was the baby jalapeno shivering?
The baby jalapeno. How do you say jalapeno, Daniel?
Yeah. All right, South Africans, I say jalapeno, but the jalapeno. That's funny for you.
I don't know the answer to the joke.
Why was the baby jalapeno shivering?
He was.
Because he was a little chilly.
Oh, that's a cute one. That's cute. I asked a German girl for her phone number, and I'm still waiting for the rest of the digits. So far, all I have is 9. That was an expat one. Yeah.
Okay.
Daniel didn't get it, but it's okay.
Okay. I'll just, this might be a little PG for parental guidance. My wife is furious at our neighbor who sunbathes naked in her backyard. Personally,
So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I think I posted a joke on here like
you've done that one, haven't you?
knee slapper, buddy.
Oh, no, he's done it.
Recycling
damn it.
jokes.
All right, I got one. Okay. I'll bring it back to finish off this thingy. I ran out of toilet paper, so have begun using old newspapers. The times are rough.
I like that one. I think
I came back strong.
Today I asked my phone, why am I still single? And then it turned on the front camera.
Average time. Don't get too offended up there.
Oh man. But yeah, we reached the end of episode 11 uno. What's 11 in Chinese? Shi? Yeah. Episode Shi. And
That's it.
yep, we will. I think in about another 2 episodes, we'll be with your boy Dan the Man. It's gonna be touchdown. It's gonna be beautiful, man. Can't wait to see it. He's spending Christmas with us. Gonna get turned. So, but yeah, my advice for everyone out there: have common sense. Don't be an asshole. Wrap it up. Stay STD free.
Indeed.
All right.
Love your neighbor.
All right, y'all. We are out. Peace.
Cheerio.